What's up again, everybody? This is Jose Gagnon, the super random guy, here again today. And we are now going to be doing the last two episodes of season 6 of Thomas the Train. So this one is episode 25. It's called Rusty Saves the Day. And these last two episodes will also have the narrow gauge engines in them as well. So hopefully you're going to enjoy them very much. And then after, we finish up these two episodes, we can finally go and, finally, for next week, we can start doing season 7. So hopefully you're all going to enjoy, get the greatness, have the amazing happy times. And let's get the things rolling and started here. You already know that things go here, everybody. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, mans.
Rusty is a little diesel engine who works at the quarry on the island of Sodor. Rusty's best friends are Rheneas and Skarloey. Rusty helps keep their line clear. Sometimes Rusty works so hard clearing their line that the little diesel forgets there's also work to be done at the quarry. One day, Rusty returned late to the quarry. The fat controller was cross. "Sorry, sir," Rusty's driver said. "We were helping Rheneas and Skarloey." "I know you like helping Rheneas and Skarloey, but their line is in a bad condition. It takes too much of your time," said the fat controller. "I am going to shut it down." Rusty was upset. "But what will Rheneas and Skarloey do?" Rusty asked. "They will come and work with you here at the quarry." He had made his mind up. There was nothing Rusty could do.
I like how in this season, instead of, just making Rusty the maintenance engine, he's also in charge of taking care of the quarry as well. So like he ended up getting a lot more responsibility in this season than from seasons 4 and 5, where he was just like the maintenance engine. But now he also has to take care of the quarry and make sure the work gets done at the quarry too. But he's trying to help out, mostly Rheneas and Skarloey, because making sure that there's no problems on the railway. That's like a lot more important kind of than just going to work at the quarry, because keeping the railway running, that's important, because without a railway they wouldn't have anywhere else to work pretty much. But so Topham Hatt's like, oh, like the railway is so messed up, I'm just gonna keep Skarloey and Rheneas here in the quarry, so with Rusty, which is kind of a little crazy, because you wouldn't expect that, for him to close down the railway and just have the quarry opened by itself. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I guess that's what happens when you're the boss man. You just gotta make some super stern decisions. And that's the super stern decision he's deciding to make, right now in this episode. It's just having Skarloey and Rheneas come work at the quarry with Rusty and just have their railway closed down because it's in really bad condition. But we're gonna see what's gonna be happening here in a couple minutes.
The line was closed down. Rheneas and Skarloey came to work at the quarry. They worked as hard as they could, but they missed the forests and hills. Most of all, they missed their passengers. Rusty could see they were not happy.
I like how Michelangelo said, he could see that, or Rusty could see that Skarloey and Rheneas, weren't happy that their railway got shut down. But if you go back to that little section there,
Forests and hills.
You can see that they're not sad. They're still happy. So that was a little mistake on the people that brought the model trains. Like instead of giving them sad faces, they gave them happy faces. So it doesn't really make any sense. You know what I mean?
The fat controller came to the quarry with important news. We are going to be blasting for the next 2 weeks, he said. It won't be safe for you here. I will have to find you other work. Please, sir, Rusty said, may we use the 2 weeks to repair Rheneas and Skarloey's line? Then they can go back to their old jobs. There are plenty of line workers available, Rusty's driver added. The Fat Controller agreed. But you have only 2 weeks to complete the job, he said sternly.
So now that they're going to be, now that they won't be able to be at the quarry for 2 weeks because they're going to be, blasting rocks, I'm guessing, at the quarry. Now, Rusty's coming up with the idea to use the 2 weeks to start, clean up, the railway a little bit. So that way, Rheneas and Skarloey can go back to pulling passengers and doing other jobs instead of just being stuck at the quarry, every single day. So, he's being a little smart, especially because Sir Topham Hatt told him that news that they're going to be blasting at the quarry. So now, it's a good thing he came up with that idea, to help, clean up the railway and, make it a lot more better again. So let's see what's going to be happening here.
Rheneas and Skarloey's line was covered in rocks and branches. The tracks were broken in several places. Elizabeth, the quarry lorry, thought cleaning up the line was ridiculous. What a waste of time, she sniffed. Skarloey was upset. She's right, he said. We'll never get it done in 2 weeks. We can't give up, said Rusty. The engines worked harder than ever, but time was running out. The next day, Rusty had a very clever idea. If only we had a lorry to help us, Rusty sighed. Elizabeth stopped. Well, I couldn't possibly help you. I'm a quarry lorry. Well, we do need a special kind of lorry, Rusty teased. I am a special kind of lorry, protested Elizabeth. It requires hauling, said Rusty. I can haul, said Elizabeth proudly. And pulling heavy branches, added Steve. Well, of course I can pull. So you'll do it, said Rusty. Well, of course. Elizabeth was as good as her word.
I'm surprised, Rusty was able to convince Elizabeth, because usually Elizabeth doesn't really care about the trains, kind of like George, how George used to be. Like, there's always, a bunch of road vehicles that just hate the trains for some crazy reason, but surprisingly, Rusty was able to convince, Elizabeth to help them, clear up, clear up and help fix, the railway. So that was super surprising. That was super surprising that she ended up agreeing, and that Rusty was able to convince her. So now hopefully, they'll be able to finish up in the 2 weeks, so that way the whole railway can be fixed up again.
She hauled rubbish and pulled branches from the line. She helped remove a fallen sycamore tree from the cattle creep. Thank you, Elizabeth, said Rusty. We couldn't have done it without you. I know, said Elizabeth proudly. The Fat Controller inspected the line. He was very impressed. Well done, Rusty, he said, and well done, Elizabeth. We will open this line immediately. Rusty was proud. Rheneas and Skarloey were very happy. Maybe now Rusty will have time to work at the quarry, said the Fat Controller.
So that was episode 25, Rusty Saves the Day. Hopefully you enjoyed it very much. And we'll be going on to the very last episode, which is called Faulty Whistles. Get the greatness, have the amazing happy times. And we will see you all in the very last episode of Season 6, everybody. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, mans! Get the super amazing great times every single day, every single chance you can get, everybody. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, mans.